You do not need to be the best creator, have the best content in order to stand the fuck out. Because once you stop listening to the bad advice that says and swears makes everybody successful, which you've already tried and you're already doing, you start realizing what is missing for you. It's not more consistency, it's not more ideas, it's not more effort. Stop wondering what the hell is missing for you, because now you will know exactly what goes behind creating that kind of presence that command attention. Welcome back to the Power of Personal Branding and Manifestation podcast. It's me, your host, Malika. So happy Tuesday. It's literally summer. What the hell? Is it summer? I'm considering this summer. Like, for me, this is summer. We have a loaded episode for you today because, listen, we all know, we've all heard it before. Oh my God, this is exactly what makes other people successful online. You just need to follow this blueprint. You need to follow this and that. And the truth is, what makes the biggest difference has to be when you understand the thinking behind what makes you feel so certain, trustworthy, and literally impossible to ignore. Let's dive into it, okay? The first thing that I want to say about this is that good content doesn't automatically means that you are a trusted creator. It doesn't automatically mean, oh my God, your content is good. People trust you, right? Because your attention is not really earned by value, but more so by your felt authority. Now, this is a quote that I absolutely love that I heard once. And it goes like this: you do not need to say all of the right things to be the authority. You just need to move like the authority. It describes so amazingly the feeling that your content is meant to kind of like envy in other people and everything. And this is why I say, like, people get invested in your certainty energy. Like, that is what they get invested in. People can feel your energy through the screen. And I think one of the best things that I have ever done when it comes to that kind of presence that holds so much certainty was to start selling myself on myself, because you are your first audience. When you are creating your content, when you're going out there to like promote your business, show the world what you have to offer, create content, you need a backbone. Like, you know, the bigger the backbone that you have with that, then the stronger the pull and the magnetic pull that you are able to create within your content. I would just literally pull out my phone and my voice memo and literally just start stating all the stuff that is literally selling my presence and me as a human being and as a business owner to myself. And that right there, that gives you so much more to work with now that you are showing up online, now that you are bringing that into life and sharing it with the world. And this is not just something that I did once, but this is something that I literally do in streaks. So I will have streaks where, you know, like on Snapchat, we used to have these streaks things. And so I literally do that with my voice memo. This is literally the baseline to magnetic content, to having your content be way more magnetic, because your audience, your clients, your future clients, like, they can feel that, and that will translate in how magnetic your content is able to be. And you never want to get so busy learning how to stand out that you accidentally start blending in with what everybody else is doing. And then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, like, why does this feel so freaking hard? Like, I need to fight for attention. There's definitely this way that online that is being portrayed of like, this is the right way to show up online, this is the right way to do it. And in reality, that can very easily tone down a lot of people's magnetism. And you've probably noticed that the creators who stand out the most and command your attention so much, they cannot be compared with other people because of how memorable and recognizable they feel. Obsession doesn't come from variety. It comes from recognition. And the more I've been talking with entrepreneurs, the more I have been realizing that most people, okay, they're not scared of being seen. They are scared that they will show up in a way that has never been done before, that is not yet confirmed to be the right way of showing up because it feels so different from everybody else, aka the very thing that gets you to stand out. Same with, hearing, oh, you need to be polarizing online. You need to really put your opinion out there. And I think that we have portrayed this image of, okay, in order to have people listen to me, I need to be polarizing. I need to have a really strong opinion. And oftentimes people attach that to having being loud, and having very outgoing and forced personality that sometimes just doesn't match their vibe. Sometimes they're just more soft, more feminine, more funny, or goofy, or more serious and zoned in or whatnot. Okay, there's this portrayed way of doing content in one right way, when in reality that delivering your content that way is not your strength, and it's not doing anything for you, and it won't really do you justice, and it probably won't really get your audience so involved and invested in you. Let's say that you are someone who your strength is more having a higher thinking and thinking in a way that that is innovative, and you are literally a leader and everything, and that is your strength, then that you should lean more into that than the right way of getting noticed. Because the thing that you will start to notice, and you start to looking at these patterns, is that once everyone start doing the one thing that everybody swears is what makes you stand out, what starts happening? We're adding to the saturation, and then what starts happening? It gets harder and harder to command attention and to become memorable, because it is just following this one right way that we assume it's supposed to be like. The reality is that your dream clients, your dream audience, okay, they are not looking for the best creators. I know, shocking, okay? They're not looking for the best creator. They are looking for that one person that feels like it's their person. That is the person, that is the girl, that is the woman that I will literally binge her content so bad. I will buy into her world. I will buy her service. I will want to hire her. I will want to be near her. I will want to have her in my presence. I want her to be for my event, for this booking, for this work, for this coaching, right? That doesn't come from being the best creator. It comes from being memorable. Once again, recognizable. Once again, it's not actually about becoming the creator that everyone approves of. It's about becoming the creator that your dream clients, your dream audience literally cannot stop thinking about and immediately trust to work with. Something so special happens once you start posting as your clients and your future clients' favorite person. And the creators that you most often admire the most, they just have built so much through repetition and certainty, once again, which I said was the baseline to your content, right? I can promise you, once you start thinking in your head, okay, I'm literally my client's favorite person to binge. I'm my audience favorite person to watch, to listen to buy from, to hear what I have to offer, to see my service, to see what I have to offer them, because they care about it. They want me to show that, to share that with the world, to share that with them. I want you to think about how differently you would be showing up, how differently maybe you would start talking and communicating about your content. And most often than not, I find that a lot of people kind of realize, oh, if I knew for certain that I literally was my client's favorite person to watch, favorite person to buy from, people start to enter this different state when they are building their personal brand, when they are showing up and creating their content, because now it's almost like you have that permission to really be annoying, because that is part of it. You need to be a little annoying. Being able to command attention, and the right kind of attention, from the exact audience that you want, from the exact clients that you want, from the exact future clients that you want. It does not happen by accident, ever. I'll give you the perfect analogy for this. So let's say that I am posting on my story and I'm promoting my podcast episode. It's just a little average episode. I post every single week, whatever, it's not a big deal. I promise you that like people would probably not, like maybe they like half of them wouldn't like click and listen to the episode. But if I go on there and I speak about it in a way that is so mesmerizing, so accurate to them, this episode is going to be their favorite episode of all time. And that gets people engaged. That gets you to command attention. That gets people to pay attention when you are looking at your favorite creators, business owners that post content. I promise you, it does feel like they know that they're their future clients' favorite fucking person to buy from. And that is because they are creating that feeling with how they're showing up. These people that you look up to, that you think are so great, were probably really shitty at once, right? They probably were not that great. I remember when I first started posting content online, I had this huge accent in English because English is not my first language. They imagine that I say I had an accent, they think it wasn't that bad, and like it was like, oh yeah, it must have been not that bad. No, it was really bad. It was really bad, to the point where I didn't have any breath left after one sentence because I did not have the right articulation to speak the language. But that kind of certainty, that kind of authority that your content is able to breathe, that is exactly the kind of thing that breeds trust. That kind of trust where people don't need to know everything about your life or for you to cover every tip and topic in the book. They're just like, okay, this is making me feel like I can trust you, because trust is a feeling, but it is a feeling that is built through authority, through certainty, and through having that kind of repetition that seems so effortless. And that doesn't come from being a born amazing creator. It is something that is forged and built through mastery and repetition. And I think that sometimes the automatic is trying to get people to notice your work or what you do. But when you're going from that magnetic way of approaching things, it starts not being about, okay, here's what I do. It starts becoming more about how can you leverage yourself and how different you are to actually stand out without needing to scream or compete so bad, because you are now entering a different lane that no one is in. Because you are leveraging yourself. You're not just leveraging what you're doing. You're not just leveraging your business. And the same applies from when you stop thinking, what do I post today, right? This is something that I see. Okay, what am I going to post today? And kind of like going at it from a day-to-day basis, which, don't get me wrong, like it's better than not posting, of course. But there's a big difference that happens with how much you can command attention and stand out when your content is not based on how you feel today, the ideas that you have on that very single day, but instead having your presence become this memorable thing that it's not just based on a day-to-day basis. It's actually just based on what you want to be remembered for and what makes you stand out, and you repeat because you know exactly what you want to be known for. And now you're not going at it from a day-to-day basis of like, you know, what's my idea today, what can I post today, like what does my audience needs to hear today, what does my clients wants to hear today. But instead you're basing it from what makes you memorable, this presence that you have built that is so recognizable to you. If you notice all of these amazing creators who are able to command so much attention, it's not because they have the best ideas, right? Like you've probably seen a piece of content and you've seen it a million times, but then they go ahead and do it and somehow it feels so like them. It feels so unique to them. And that is because that piece of content, that piece of idea, it's not based on a single piece of content of how they felt that day. It is based on how memorable and recognizable they make it to their personal brand. And that is not something that is just for big creators. It is something that is accessible to you. Ditching once and for all this is the everyone blueprint, okay? that is what gets people to decide that you are the one. You are the one that has the authority. You are the one that feels so certain. You are the one that's commanding their attention, and you are standing the fuck out. All right. Now, I hope that you absolutely love this episode. If you did, head over to Apple Podcasts and write a review. Leave a comment on one of your favorite episode or your favorite takeaway from this episode. If you love this episode, make sure to share it with a friend, with someone that you know absolutely needs to hear this and is ready to stand the fuck out. And as always, I'll meet you back here next week, and stay amazing. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.